Thanks for joining me today in the shop. On today's episode, it's going to be the third and final episode on building this wagon. On episode number 1, we went ahead and got everything selected, cut up to size. In episode number 2, we got everything put together and ready to go up to this point. Now in the third and final episode, we're going to be grinding down our rough welds and starting to put some paint on this, so it's going to be lasting for a long time to come. If you haven't seen episode number 1 or number 2, you can go ahead and click on the link for it over here, and then come back and watch the third part. So I see you're still with me, so apparently you've already seen episode number 1 and number 2, so you're up to speed as to what we're going to be doing on episode number 3. Now first I'm going to show you guys the rough welds on here that we're going to be grinding down, and then we're going to go ahead and actually get the grinding started. So stay with me, I'll show you what I'm up to. So I find a lot of times when I'm working that I forget to tell you guys what I'm doing, and then as I'm editing I have to go back through and try to narrate and put words in as I'm working. It's important for me to tell you guys about the tools that I'm going to be using today. In the last video I was poking fun at the size of some of these tools being not big enough, and then, oh, I got the manly tool. So anyway, I wanted to tell you guys there is a reason and a purpose for every tool I have in my arsenal. You know, it's not necessarily the case that you're going to be using your big heavy-duty grinder all the time. You're going to have finer areas you got to get into. But here's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be starting out with my heavy-duty grinder, knocking off the high spots on all the welds, and taking off the large amount of material with that. Then I'm going to work my way down to my coarse disc sander. This sander is going to be taking off the gouges and deep scratches that this grinder leaves on there and help smooth it out so that it's going to be hidden when you go and paint it. And then of course I have my little battery operated grinder, which this has its place too. When you have such big tools like this and you're trying to work inside a confined area, sometimes all that torque isn't a good thing because you have a very difficult time trying to control that in a tight enclosed area. So this is going to be coming in very handy for cleaning up the welds inside of the wagon area. So this has its place. And then also I want to just make mention, not everything's power tools. You know, I do have my handheld files here that I'm going to be having to use. There's no replacement for a handheld tool when it comes to finishing up a nice, clean, crisp corner on the inside of your welding project. So I have my handheld files here as well. So I'm going to go ahead and put this wagon up here on top of the table, get my tools taken down, and get started. Also, just wanted to make mention when you're doing this, it's a really good idea to wear your safety protective equipment. I have my glasses, I have some earplugs. This can get loud and there's a lot of metal shavings flying around. So just a quick mention about that. So stay with me, I'll show you what I'm up to. Done, we have a little bit of filing to do now. So you're asking me, why am I wasting my time going and filing this down by hand? Well, quite honestly, I believe there's a right tool for every job, and if you use the right tool for the job, you're going to have good results. Let me start by saying, have you ever found yourself saying, wow, they don't make whatever it is, cars, clothes, food, they don't make it like they used to? Well, you're actually very correct in that statement. They don't make things like they used to. Things used to be made with pride, with quality material. Now they're made to get the lowest bottom line possible. Cheap materials, cheap labor. The people who build stuff don't take the pride that they should be in what they're building. So, we have what's called planned failure. Our products that we buy from the store are planned to fail. It's the only way that the stores can get us to come back and buy another one. I mean, why would we come back and buy another car in 4 years, 5 years, if the one we have is still going strong and not giving us any problems, right? Well, this is the reason why I go and I use hand tools, hand files, and I do the job the way that I feel is the right way. My legacy isn't going to be for planned failure. My legacy is going to be products and projects that I can pass down to the generations of my family, and they can see what kind of a person I was by the type of things that I did. They're going to look at, maybe take this wagon and 50, 60 years from now and go, wow, Grandpa, or maybe great-grandpa, or great-great-grandpa really took pride in what he did. He did a good job, and we still have this wagon. I mean, yeah, the tires might be dry rot by then, but you'll still have the basic framework here. This isn't going anywhere, not anytime soon. So, well, that was my little rant on this. Anyway, I think we're all set now filing, so I'm going to go ahead, double check all my welds that I have on here, make sure everything's smooth. We're going to get some primer put on this and then get it painted. So stay with me. We'll show you how to take care of that. Okay. I have some cans of gloss black Rust-Oleum. I'm going to go ahead and paint the wagon the glossy black just because I have it left from another project. A couple other things that you're going to want to make sure of. It's a really good idea to go ahead and wear gloves. It makes it a lot easier for cleanup so you're not getting that all over your hands. It makes a mess. And also, I use disposable brushes, especially for things like this, because getting into this expanded steel messes up the bristles, and it's better to mess up the bristles on a $1 brush than it is on a $20 brush. And you don't have to clean this up when you're done, you can just throw it out because the Rust-Oleum does make a mess as far as cleanup goes. So, I'm going to go ahead and get my shirt changed into my paint shirt, and then we're going to go ahead and get started. Alright, shirt's changed, gloves are on, we're ready to get started. We're going to finish up this small can of Rust-Oleum first, and then work out of our big can. Now you ask, why are we starting with the bottom first? Well, I actually had thought about this, and I decided to do the bottom first because if we have any drips, you're going to be able to clean them out from the inside after you flip this back over, and we don't want the drips to be sticking up from the bottom of this expanded steel once we're done painting it. So, I decided to do the bottom of the wagon first. Just in case we have any drips that go through, we don't want to have any problems. Okay, that is it. I am now done painting this wagon. Let me get it down off this table and show you what I've got accomplished. Alright guys, this is the final product from this project. Everything is welded together, ground down, and painted up. We have everything the way that we want it, and we have one heavy-duty wagon here. If you guys have found this to be entertaining or informative or useful at all, can you go ahead and click on the subscribe button right over here? By subscribing to my YouTube channel, you're going to be getting instant access to all of the content and videos on my YouTube channel. You're going to be notified of when I have a new video coming up, and you can go ahead and click on those and watch them at any time. So go ahead, become a member of my YouTube family, and subscribe right here. I'm also going to include some links right over here that you guys can go ahead and click on. These links are some other products that I've built and projects that I've done that you might be interested in. I don't only do metal fabrication as you've seen on this video series, but I also do woodworking and gardening and forestry and snow plowing and, well, the list goes on. So go ahead, click on one of these links, click on the subscribe button, and I hope to see you soon on my next video. Until then, bye-bye guys.